Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In case it's your first time here, my name is ejatu.shaw and I'm a London-based photographer. I recently set up a shoot with the lovely Precious, shooting multiple looks and going for a fashion editorial vibe. I initially wanted to shoot this solely on film, using a digital camera to help me figure out my film camera settings, especially because I'd be working with on-camera flash, but I love the digital images also. As I was shooting on Canon cameras for both digital and film, I thought I'd give you guys a side-by-side comparison for both formats. So let's talk kit. I used the Canon 5D Mark IV as my digital camera, pairing it with one of my go-to lenses, the 24 to 70mm. It's such a versatile lens and it's perfect for fashion and portrait photography when you want to quickly switch between wider shots and tighter portraits. For film, I was shooting on my Canon A1, switching between my 28mm, 50mm and 135mm lenses, and shooting on a roll of Fujifilm 200. The aim of this shoot was to have a go at shooting on film with an on-camera flash, using the Canon Speedlight 600EX2 RT. I've been loving some of Burberry's recent campaigns and wanted to have a go at their distinct direct flash look, especially in an outdoor environment, giving the imagery a bit of an edge. But as I mentioned before, I love the results of my digital backups, so I'll be showing you both sets of imagery from the day. When Precious arrived at the studio, we took some time to decide on our final looks for the shoot. For our first setup, we were going to be shooting against my carnation backdrop, opting for this beautiful denim two-piece that Precious designed and created. I knew the cool tones of the denim would look beautiful against the pink, allowing the textures and threading on the piece to really shine. We paired the set with a white shirt and some heels. We started with our digital shots, working through a variety of poses that showcase a beautiful silhouette of the two-piece, with the flash directly facing Precious. I was loving the look of the harsh shadows created by the flash, so went ahead and plugged the same camera settings into my Canon A1, still pointing the flash directly at Precious. Next, for a different look, I decided to point the flash towards the ceiling, continuing with shots where Precious was crouching on the ground. Once I was happy, I switched over to my Canon A1 to get some similar shots in film. We carried on with some digital shots with the flash still facing the ceiling for softer shadows. loved Precious's stance in this full body moment shot on digital and quickly switched back to my Canon A1 to capture something similar on film. I took a few more digital shots before finally wrapping up this look with a beautiful portrait on film. Our next look was this one piece paired with a blazer, some boots and an orange silk scarf, shot against the white wall in my studio to create a clean contrast. As usual, we started with our digital shots, still pointing the flash directly to the ceiling to bounce light onto Precious. I plugged the same camera settings into my Canon A1 and recreated some of my favourite poses. I was loving this portrait moment, so I switched to my 135mm lens on my Canon A1 so I could shoot from afar and create beautiful depth of field. We switched back to digital and took some more close-up portraits. And finished up with some moments in film. final look was this skirt that Precious wore as a dress, paired with some boots and a bleached brow look. We were heading outside, so we added this mustard coat to the look. I was excited to be shooting with flash on film outdoors, but like before, we worked for our digital shots first, with Precious creating some beautiful shapes with her skirt and coat. We slowed down and switched to film, pointing the flash directly at Precious to separate her from the greenery. We lost some sunlight, so the flash became a lot more dominant for the next set of shots. Precious took off her coat so we could make the most of her skirt turned dress and create some interesting silhouettes with it. Once we were happy with our digital shots, we rounded up this look on film. absolutely love to shoot with Precious, and it's really interesting to see the film and digital shots side by side. I'm typically quite drawn to film, especially for editorial shoots, because of the timeless quality of the imagery and the care taken for each exposure. But there was something so freeing about shooting digitally for this shoot, especially for someone like Precious who moves well and works through her poses quickly. I had the flexibility to follow her through her flow of movements without being worried about running out of exposures. But film has its perks as far as post-production is concerned. I can achieve the exact look I want by tweaking a few elements, whereas it's often quite overwhelming grading from scratch when it comes to shooting digitally. In a scenario like this one, it helped to have the analog versions of the imagery to give me an exact reference for grading their digital counterparts. Here are some side-by-side examples of this. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the imagery from this shoot and had fun joining myself and Precious behind the scenes. I'd love to know what some of your favorite shots and moments were. Are you leaning towards the film shots or digital? I'm beginning to love digital photography again, and would love to know where you guys are at when it comes to the formats you're shooting on. For your work, are you shooting strictly on film, or are you giving digital photography a shot? Let us know down below. I will see you guys in the next one.